He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 39 yards.
Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Throwing is Jackson. Now he's flushed out right. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Jackson. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Baltimore.
A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Cincinnati set to take over once again.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all living on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Now it's Burrow.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd and short to get to the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Burrow. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Oh, they'll let the tight end Ingram run with it.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing. And as a player, that means an awful lot.
On 2nd and goal, Burrow. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will swell the lead.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked so well. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? The Ravens on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
They go play action with Burrow. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Mixon running right. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And the Bengals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Burrow will throw.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football.
Bad news for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage.
A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now Jackson on first down. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
2nd and 10. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush.